Hello guys, and welcome to another day with Zimaleta. In today's video, I'm going to be removing this radiator support, and my goal is to remove this radiator support together with the radiators and stuff. I don't think I'll be able to do that, however, because I'm not going to be disconnecting the AC line, so that's going to be quite of a challenge. So I may have to actually just end up doing it like it is. But if I was actually just doing that, I could have simply disconnected all the lines, left them in there, and pulled this radiator support all together as one thing. But anyways, let's continue. I'll go ahead and actually start removing all the main parts. So these are number 13s. Okay, so the very next thing is we're gonna need to remove those there. So what do we have here? That looks like the correct one. Nope, it's not. So this is a 30. What do we have here? That's a 20. That's a 25. That's a 35. Let's see. Nope. We need a 40. 27. All right, we got a 40 right here. Yeah, that's actually perfect. Okay, it looks like we have another number 13 right there. But let me see here. I have birds flying here. Alright, so this is some of the wiring. That's too short. So we'll disconnect this switch, and then we're gonna disconnect this here so we could actually pop those things back on when it's ready without doing any of the unnecessary things. Oh, what is this? Wow, that's pieces of a shredded belt. Piece of radiator hose. It's not connected to anything. Interesting, because everything's good here. All right, so let's see what we need here. 27. 27 seems to work. Most likely it's a 30. And we have a 30 right here, so yeah, it is a 30. So we're gonna put this right here. So we're going to remove this DEF fill tube. From the bracket. So there's that. Okay. Actually, you could just remove that connector. So that's a 25. So we have another 25 back here. So now this is a little bit loose. It's actually attached to that little round thing. I have to pull it over, then attach it. Okay, so we're just gonna put it like that for now. So the very next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect this water hose right there. I'm doing this to kind of loosen it up a little bit because sometimes they get very, very stuck. So that came out just fine. So now this other fill tube, I'm going to disconnect it right here. Well, sometimes things just slip off like that. It's really a little bit of a challenge. And these are actually very good pliers to be doing this. They really get things good. Okay. So I'm going to remove this electrical connector. It's so tiny, I need something tiny to press it. Okay. Let's see here. And these hoses, they really get stuck on there. Okay. So we're gonna put it right here. I could definitely tell there's oil dripping down because I put this pan and I wiped the pan down, so it's clean. So I don't have to remove this DEF tube, but it's either aftermarket way that was installed right here with those with that little thing, or it might be original. I'm really not too sure, but I'm gonna remove it. So if I'm going to be in here installing a wiring harness, I'm gonna be moving it back and forth. It seems like it's very plasticky, and I don't want it to break. It just would be really bad. I'm just gonna loosen this up. And that seems a little stuck as well. Okay, so there's that. And now I need to disconnect another piece of pipe, which is just right here. Well, actually, I might just leave it right here. That way it's out of the way, so we really don't have to do it that much. But I will be working in this area, so I don't need that stuff to be in my way. All right, so here we have so many things back here and so much trash from being spilled. I'm looking for a 5-in-1 tool. Not that one though. I know I got it hanging here somewhere. How can I not see it? I just hung it. Yeah, there it is. This is what I'm looking for. I just want to show you something. Look guys, it is like crystallizing. It's basically crystals growing. So that stuff you pour in there, like after a while, got all them crystals. Okay. Very next thing I want to do is I'm going to get some gloves. And I want to put this inside of the DF pipe. That way we don't have any contaminants getting in there, so we want to avoid that. So we have this fan shroud. It's actually not attached. I really don't even know, like, how is it really just hanging here like that? I've seen them broken pretty much in every single van, but you can't really get this out. This is basically just hanging. This is the way it was. It's really supposed to be attached into this, and that's supposed to be attached, so this seems to be not attached. There's probably really no way to attach it, but to be driving with this thing off like this, definitely not good. But we'll figure something out once I actually get ready to install it back. So we're gonna go ahead and actually remove more radiator support bolts, which are right here. Oh wow, these were actually broken off, because I'm thinking, why is this thing so loose already? But it appeared to me that it was in an accident or something, because a lot of stuff was actually missing, but it was not me breaking it. Okay, so I need to move it out of the way just slightly. I'm gonna go ahead and actually disconnect the rest of the pipes. Well, that's interesting. So it looks like there's another way to fill something up. It's like another water line. Might be used for flushing an engine or something. So that came out no problem. So now we need some E-sockets. We're actually going to be pulling all of this stuff next. So the way this radiator is, it snaps in over here in these connectors, and of course you got the intercooler. It's got bolts and it's being held down to this here. So once the radiator unsnaps, then you should be able to slide out the intercooler. But right now we have all the pipes still attached, so I have to actually get rid of the pipes, and including transmission lines. There's just, it's a little bit tricky. There's a lot of stuff in the way there. We got that one disconnected. Okay, we have another turbo. Oh, this thing's soft. It's soft and it's probably brittle. I've never seen one that soft before. Okay. So the way that intercooler is being held, you got that bolt right there, and you got this one right here, which is a little bit difficult to get to because that's obviously in the way. In order to get this out, you have to kind of like unsnap the radiator. So let's see if we could actually unsnap it. I don't know if this is a good method or not. May just have to use something like this. Water hose is disconnected, but I want to disconnect the rest of it. So here's the water hose. It's going to be attached to that other thing, which is fine. So this bracket's going to be in my way. Let's see if I could just get rid of it. So this is part of the DF and water fill tube. Let's see. Basically, I'm just gonna touch this because that's where it goes. I really don't want it to be misaligned. Looks like I will have to remove that little bolt so that we could actually get these this is the AC condenser, so we could like get out of the way. But I'm wondering though, okay, so we got that one unsnapped. Gotta do the same thing to this one. Okay, that worked. I'll disconnect the cable from its place. I gotta pull that out. That's probably too big. So for now, I'm just gonna put those things there. So I'm going to put this here. So we're going to just put this all the way down, so it's going to be out of my way, like that. Like that's good. Okay, looks like that unhooked itself. It's just holding little by little. But this here, as you can see, is damaged from the accident, whenever that was. So now, as you can see, we pretty much have the radiators and stuff in here. In this AC condenser, let me see if I'm actually recording. As you can see, guys, these are the things you use to snap out the radiator. They're intact over here. And then to get the AC condenser out, you need to press that in and pull this up. And of course, there's always a way to get your fingers pinched or something, so be sure to wear gloves. So I'm pushing this one and pulling it out like this. So So there you go. See, I could just put these things right here, just tucked out of the way. Now I could disconnect this. This is not part of the AC system. By the way, I'm gonna disconnect this wire down here. That way it doesn't have any chance of getting damaged. So we're just gonna put this like this and like that, and that should be okay. Right here, it's being cut on that. So now what we have here is we have the intercooler is connected right here with E-sockets. So we need to get E-sockets and pull that out. Lay this over here.
My bike chain broke again. I can fix it.
These other bolts. This was actually just holding down by dust because I removed the bolts. It was just still hanging in there. So I'm gonna put this right here on this shelf. The intercooler is good. Nothing wrong with that. So now we need to actually remove this radiator, and I have to remove these transmission lines. So we got one right here and we have another one right there. You just can't bend that out of the way. That's just not gonna work. I wonder if I even have the key for it. So that's not gonna work. Let's see if this one works. No, it doesn't work. So that means I have to use something like this then. But what I don't like about these, on these sprinters, you know, they don't have a lot of room. You just really can't use that. I don't want to have to break something. I don't know, maybe I could just use a tiny one. The tiny ones don't open up far enough, so that's another issue. Transmission lines would be kind of tight. I mean, these will do the trick. It's just, you know, they put everything so close, like this little nozzle there. There's just so many things that can go wrong. Can't even really fit this even in there. And when I do, there's a chance at touching something. Oh, good thing these things are not that tight. Wow, this is actually the loosest I've seen it. This is still too heavy for fingers, but this is not bad. I thought I'm gonna have to go buy myself another wrench. This is not bad. I thought it's going to be a lot worse because sometimes these things are really stuck, but we will have some transmission fluid leaking out. Hopefully that other one I could get loose the same way. Yeah, it's not bad. I could use my hands to remove it. I will need to put a catch can here because stuff is going to be leaking. It's like it's loose, but still too tight for my fingers. Probably a good thing. You would not want this thing to be extra loose. Then you're gonna be losing transmission fluid. Well, the oil, excuse me, once I'm pouring out the radiator fluid, it's coming out with oil. I do see oil now. This is actually, it was not really apparent. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, I could see why that oil's coming out. So basically, for some reason, this transmission fill-up tube, it's moving around, and what you see in there, it's not oil, it's transmission fluid. So that's what that is. Because it's kind of weird, it started coming out like that. There we go. So now we have this fan shroud to deal with. Just take you back there. Well, let's take a look at the fan shroud. Seems to be okay. I don't think I need to remove the fan. We pretty much have everything that we need right here. But some of this other stuff is going to need to be cleaned up because we have so much work to do. And we got all this stuff in the way. Just pipes going everywhere. So, this stuff is going to need to be recorded in a different video, obviously. And I've recorded enough videos today. We probably got like, 5-6 episodes recorded today. So everything else is going to be like, we got to remove the fuel filter. We got to remove the turbo resonator. We got to actually remove this oil thing. So yeah, there's a e-socket for that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and actually remove that. So basically this twists out of the way, So let me see here, see if I could replace this with that right here. There it is. You didn't know you could do that, did you? But you kind of need this because this is deep down in there, and that's so you don't really spill any oil. So I'm gonna actually just take this bolt, put it back into its place, probably doing it at an angle with the torque. Not a good idea. I'm just gonna do it by hand. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, thank you so much and welcome to the channel. This is what we do, is we work on sprinters. I'm basically a do-it-yourselfer, and from a do-it-yourselfer to the do-it-yourselfer, I like to help. And basically by the time you finish watching all these episodes, you will have a very good idea what does it take to replace your oil cooler. And some of you, maybe experts out there, you probably say, hey, I don't need to take all that stuff apart. You're just gonna start digging in here, and hey, more power to you, you know. But there's a good chance we're gonna need to pull the engine because the turbo is being very close. And while it's possible to remove it on the vehicle, when this engine was put in, it was put in as a whole from the bottom with the subframe. So like one of the other choices would be is to actually remove the subframe. And a good thing this thing, you know, removes over here, and you can just, you know, pull it forward. But I don't have a lift, so to try to prop the body, you know, all the way up there, it's not gonna really work for me, not with my current setup. So eventually I'm gonna have a shop, I'm gonna have my own lift, and then I could just basically undo the subframe and just roll the engine out, roll it back in, or actually not roll it out, leave it in there, just, you know, unbolt the subframe, lift up the van, leaving the engine on the ground together with the transmission and everything. And then once I'm done, I could just lower it onto the engine. That would be very, very ideal. But you know, what can I say? I don't have that type of stuff yet, so I have to make do with what I got. But anyways, guys, stay tuned for tomorrow's episode, which is probably already happened if you're watching this somewhere in December. I'm going to be doing everything else, guys. So step by step, whatever's in my way, I'm gonna start removing, and we're just gonna be going, you know, all around the engine, because we have to really dig deep in order to remove some of the stuff. So anyways, thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. God bless you, and see you guys in my next video.
My name is Serge Zimaleta. I'm 37 years old, and yes, I experienced success after buying my first home for cash. Back in 2011, I was broke, but I learned to solve problems on my own. Now I'm helping others to solve their problems. I know what pitfalls to avoid to stay profitable in business. Need motivation to be more successful in your life? Do you have Sprinter, Expedite, or business problems? Then subscribe. Let's find creative solutions to your problems. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my helpful videos.